Welcome to Shadow Empire Academy. Today you will learn how to assign the right people to the right jobs. Sooner or later, you will have to make a decision to hire a new leader because you added new organization, or maybe you fired the previous leader who was simply lazy and doing nothing. As you can see, I have many open positions in my government because I have dismissed everyone to do the hiring once again with you and to show you the decision-making process to find the best candidates for the jobs. So the game will suggest you some candidates for the current job. In this case, we are looking for Director for Military Research Council, and we can see some candidates. The game shows us the suitability rating, so how good skills this candidate has for today, without taking into account his potential for future. But based on the current skills, the game shows us this number, and it can be a good indicator for you if you don't want to dig too much into the details. But please remember that those candidates sometimes might be selected because you promised them a job in the past, or because they are nominated by political parties, or depending on your government type, there are different criteria, and not always the best candidates will be visible here on the first screen. So also it's good to check what leaders were not nominated. You can use the dismiss button to check different candidates, but please notice that this will affect their relation. So if you would like to use the screen, then select simply the person who has the best suitability rating. So in this case, it will be Hannah, because she has a rating 60. We can, of course, double check her stats, and we can see that she is a good scientist because she can discover new technologies very well, but the science could be a bit better. But according to game, that 81 inventor is good enough to have suitability 60. It could be higher if she would also have science higher, but from all candidates, she is the best one. So I could appoint her, but to make a wise decision, we need to go to the manage screen, and here we need to double check if there is no better candidates for this role. So how to select good candidates to match the Military Research Council. I prepared a special table that might help us. So in this table, you can see the stats and skills important for specific roles. And we are looking for Military Research Council, so we are looking for this row. And we can see that the intelligence is the most important stat. And regarding skills, inventor and science. The plus means that this is the major statistic for this role. Also, I put them in some order. So military, in my opinion, should have higher intelligence than economic higher than model, and so on. But sometimes you need to reverse the order because of other criteria like capability level or specific skills. So this is only a suggestion and not mandatory order for leaders. So if we know that intelligence is the most important for Military Research Council and it should be the highest, then we should go to our manage screen and select our stats, so war, charisma, and intelligence, and sort by intelligence. So now we can see our leaders, and on the top we can see the ones that have the highest intelligence, because we know that intelligence is a crucial factor for our Military Research Council. Also, we can add here some technical skills like inventor and science, and we don't need relation because the most important is natural relation point and capability level. So now we have all required statistics for Military Research Council. And the sorting here might only help us to find the best candidates, but all numbers here might be important. So one note that the capability level, the higher it is, the more important are the statistics. So war, charisma, and intelligence. The lower it is, the more important are skills, because low capability levels cannot learn fast and they need to rely on their skills. And high capable leaders, even if they don't have skills, they can learn the skills fast. So in case of capability 3, I would say the skills and stats are equally important. So is she the best candidate for this job? We can see that intelligence is very good, the highest, so great, and charisma and war is not important for this role. And usually it's good if the stats which are not important are low, because then we are not losing important statistics for particular role. In this case, the war is quite low here, so very good for the scientist, and charisma is a bit higher, but still compared to intelligence is very low. Also, she has some skills already, so she is looking like a perfect military research council. The one thing that is worrying me is her natural relation point. But because we are looking at reserve pool members, the job prestige is -4. But how to predict what will be her satisfaction from this job in future? And for that, we should also add her personality and her ambition, because ambition is the main factor that determines satisfaction from the job. In her case, ambition is 79 and the Military Research Council is director, and director is a very prestige job. I use my own calculation for the job prestige. In this case, we subtract ambition from 150. So her satisfaction in the future will be 71. So it's good enough. So we can appoint her as our military research council. Let's check also if there are no better candidates with lower intelligence, because sometimes it might be also the case. So the next one also could be very good because the other stats are low and intelligence is high. He has some basic skills, so he would be also quite good candidate. But if we check his card, we can see that his main skill is technician, and this skill is good for model design council. So I would keep this guy for model design, especially that he has also improvisation, but we will speak about this later. So another candidate here, Frederick, he has quite high charisma and war compared to the intelligence. Such candidates are very tough when you need to decide, because we can use any of those stats as the major one. So he could fit to many different roles, not only to scientists. So here the decision probably will be determined by his skills. As you can see, he has a lot of war related skills and operational command. So he could be also a good commander and also leadership. So I would rather keep this guy for military purposes instead of the science, even if the intelligence is higher. So we can see that there is no best candidate for the Military Research Council. So go back, but we don't see here our candidate. So where is the Lucinda? She is here, suitability 53. But we know that her potential is much higher than this girl, because this girl has 60 suitability, but the intelligence is 32, and our candidate intelligence is 52. So she can learn much faster and improve the skill to the higher level than the suggested candidate. Now we need to dismiss some leaders until we will see Lucinda. So dismiss this guy, dismiss her, but finally we found our candidate, so we can appoint her. Of course, the relation will improve when you appoint somebody from the reserve pool. And now if we go to our cabinet, we have one leader assigned, and you can check that her natural relation point is 66 and the job prestige is 71. So exactly as I calculated based on her ambition. So remember, for directors, 150 minus ambition. And we have very good military research council. Now we can also check in the organizations the Military Research Council, and we can see that we have two tasks: discovery, where our council is using the inventor skill, and research, where we are using the science skill. So let's go back to other positions. Next one is the new director for Model Design Council. The first one has suitability rating 88, so very high rating, and we already know that he might be a good candidate. Please understand that this rating is an average of all skills that are required for this job for the moment where we check them. So the higher the rating is, the more we can be sure that the candidate can be good. But for values like 2, 9, even 30, even 60, I would say take it with a grain of salt. So let's go back to our manage screen to double check if he really will be a good model design council. And as we can check in our table, for model design, we need of course intelligence as a main statistic, and skills like technician, inventor, and improvisation, which is based on the will statistic. So go back to the manage skill. So we don't need science here. We need only inventor, technician, and from non-grouped skills, we have to select improvisation because this is also a very important skill for model design and it can affect the quality of our models in terms of the weapon, engine, and armor design. Those three are dependent on the improvisation, and this structural design depends on the inventor and base design on technician skill. So go back to leaders. We have all stats visible, and we can see that he is very good at most of them. But for improvisation, we have two leaders that are better. Also this one. So potential competitor for this role would be Paul, because intelligence is comparable, but the charisma and war in this case are also high, but this is not a problem. Sometimes we need to waste two other attributes if the skills are also fine and the main attribute. So what we have here, inventor higher than Ingmar, improvisation much higher than Ingmar, and also capability level is 4. So I would consider Paul might be even better candidate. Please also look that the ambition of Ingmar is quite high, and Paul has low ambition, so he will be 100% happy because 150 minus 43 will be over 100. So, and he 72. That will be his job satisfaction. So we have a tough decision here because the capability level 4 can be also used for other roles because he's also good here. But because the intelligence is much higher, I would select Paul as our model design council, but his natural relation point is also we need to check what's the match with our profile, with our regime profile is 23 and he has match with our profile 27, so it's not big difference. So let's select Paul and go back to the decisions, but we don't see Paul here, so we need to dismiss.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we have finally Paul. You can see that suitability is only 26, but we know that he is very capable. He is intelligent. He has improvisation and also will. So 80 improvisation, very high number. And inventor could be better, but he will learn fast. And technician, this is problematic. And he could have better technician, but because he is capability level 4, we don't care too much about the skills, and the stats are more important and his predisposition. So let's go back. So Ingmar is very good technician and our Paul is very good in improvisation. Still, I think improvisation will be better because improvisation also can help him in other roles. Like for technician, also improvisation can help because this skill will help with anything that is lower than 15. So soon, very quickly, he should improve. So let's select Paul
Yes, sir.
and go back to our organizations, check Model Design Council, and we can see discover model. We use inventor. For designing models, we will use technician and improvisation for the engine, weapon, and armor quality. And also, if we go to his natural relation, you can see that the job prestige is 100. So he is very happy and proud that he got this job. And it will be helping us with his relation. And soon also his loyalty will improve. And the next one will be not Foreign Affairs Council, but because we would like to stick to the intelligence. So let's finalize all scientists. So the next is Economic Council. because he's also using the intelligence. If we go back to the table, you can see that the economic council is used intelligence, and sometimes charisma also is good, but it's not crucial. So what skills we need? Inventor and science. Science is also used for archaeology, but we can see also other skills like prospecting. It will improve finding new resources. Administration is a task that is generating stratagems regarding economic policies. And oratory might be used to play some and oratory. So you can see that you have many different possible tasks and all depend on the capability level that we will find and his intelligence. So go back to the list and go to manage, and we don't need improvisation, we don't need technician, but we need science, so inventor and science, but also prospecting, administration for economic policies, and let's check what we have. So the first one is already nominated, so we can skip this row, but the second one is our previous candidate for model design. He also has science, inventor, so very good, and high intelligence. Do we have any better candidate like this one? This one, not really, because of maybe we could use it for some war purposes. And this one also, high war, so I will keep those two for commanders. This is already nominated, and this one don't have any skills. Here we have capability 3, here also 3. So do we have anyone who is better? No. So let's go with Ingmar. He seems to be a good candidate for Economic Council because in capability level 3, I treat equally the skills and the stats. And by stats, I mean mainly intelligence and optionally charisma. And as we are still talking about director, so the his satisfaction should be 70 something, so not amazing, but still not very low. So let's go with this guy. We need to find him now on the list. So if he is not here, so dismiss.
Yes, sir.
And here we have Ingmar. We can appoint him
Copy that.
and check the organizations. Economic Council, you can see inventor for discovery, science for research, prospecting for prospecting, and administration for economic policies. And by economic policies, we mean if we go to stratagems and scroll down, you can see that he can generate 3 cards currently: prospecting push, archaeology effort, and peripheral mining. And for archaeology effort, he might test the also science skill. If we go to stratagems, it will be in zones, archaeology effort. You can see that it's executed by Economic Council and the role is against the science. So very good. Next one will be Interior Council. First, let's go to our table and check what skills do we need and stats. For Interior Council, still we are sorting by intelligence, and this is the key statistics, but please notice that charisma I highlighted in yellow because this is also very important for Interior Council, but it's not the crucial one. So those two, if you see somebody with high intelligence and high charisma, I will recommend Interior, but depends on the capacity level, of course. So 3 or more capacity, then yes, but if 1 or 2, then check more the skills than the stats. So this is interesting that all 4 tasks require administration, which is part of intelligence group. But also when Interior Council is playing some cards, we need leadership for giving bonuses, gifts, sometimes bribery, sometimes streetwise, but this is, I would say, corner case, mainly if you have story modules, like mainly if you play with story modules. So intelligence, charisma, mainly administration, and good to have leadership. So let's check. So in case of interior councils, he is not really a scientist, so he can disable all of those stats, but administration, this role is mainly for administration. And from the interpersonal skills, we would like to have leadership. Those are the 2 most important skills. So first 2 are already taken. The third one, you can see intelligence and charisma, those 2, so good match. And we have also leadership. So the third one looks like good interior council, but let's check if we have somebody better, because you can see here Paul is also good in leadership, but we already taken him for the model design. But this guy is capability free, so he can learn the leadership fast. His satisfaction will be 66. from the job, because if we start 150 minus the 84, let's check the alignment with our profile, 78, so quite okay. So let's nominate him. We have Frederick, a point.
Affirmative.
Frederick Copernicus, good name. Now let's go to organizations, interior council. This council is mainly doing tasks like generating points for taxation, tariffs, human resources, very important to have more leaders, and interior policies. So in stratagems, all tasks that we can see in the nation, so decrease income tax, recruit somebody, increase sales taxes, also some kind of events that can improve experience and socializing our leaders. So this guy is HR person and administrative person who care about all part of the economy, but mainly is doing recruitment, but also is giving gifts which are improving the relation. That's why the leadership is very important. Can give medal of merit to improve relation, bonuses, and also retire people. So a lot of activities, lot of cards, but in his case the bonus and official gift are depending on leadership, and this is very important to keep people happy and motivate them for harder work for our government. And now we have two options, Air Force research or applied science, because those are the two left in our intelligence column and supreme. But I would go with the war-related stats because I don't want to make a mistake and select somebody with high intelligence and some high war stats if I don't know if I already have proper people using the war statistic. So let's start with strategic headquarter commander. He really should have the highest war statistic. And from skills perspective, high command and sometimes trade for the manual trading, and it's using intelligence, so that's why a bit of intelligence wouldn't hurt. So let's check. So we need to go to the units tab, and here we have commanders, but the first one is for the first SHQ commander, and this is what we are looking for. Here are some propositions, but nobody has high capability except this one, and you can see with capability 1 and war 20 we can forget about him, but the game proposed because he has a high command. So in case of you, if you don't have anyone and you are in the middle of war and your SHQ died and you don't have replacement, he could be a good choice to finalize a few rounds of the fightings, and in the meantime you could find somebody better. But it's not the case for us, so let's go to manage. We don't need to sort by intelligence now, and we don't need administration. So disable the administration. We need some command skills, so high command, and I would enable also those two for comparison and sort by war this time because we are looking for somebody for military commanders. So the first one, you can see high covert ops. She could be a good security officer. The second one, he has high war, but the capability level 2, I would rather make him operational commander. So the next one with high war and some intelligence is this one. We don't have any skills, but the level is 3. For SHQ, I would recommend 4 or 5, but 3 would be the minimum one. So we need to select between those two probably. So this guy have also good war, good intelligence, covert ops, but we already have here, so we can ignore this, but it will give us a family bonus for high command, because if you click her, you can see that covert ops is high, but thanks to this, even if here is 0, I have, because of the family level, I have 17. She could be a good first SHQ commander. Also, because of the family bonus, she has a bit of trade, because those two statistics are important for me, and mainly this one. Intelligence is too high for the commander, but it will not be a problem. So yeah, she is the best one. And because of the capability level 4, she can really fast increase the statistic. As I said, above 3, I don't care too much if there is no stat that you need. So the stat would be a nice addition, but we have here family bonus. So, but she is our secretary, so I need to dismiss her and then hire as a HQ commander.
Standing by. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you can see that she appeared as a first option, and I can appoint her as SHQ commander.
Yes, sir.
If we check our list, The next one, we should select operational headquarter or security. I will go with security council because we notice somebody with high covered ops. And this skill is used for all tasks of security council, and also good to have high charisma because we need to sometimes from time to time interrogate leaders who stolen money and get the money back. So this is important to really get a lot of money, a lot of credits back to your budget. And this is to increase the loyalty of leaders by threatening them. And in the case of autocracy, you can also assassinate leader instead of retire. So, but this is for the strength stat. So you can see this is important role. So let's go with security and find somebody. It will be in organizations, Secret Service Council. Go here, and the first one was our best candidate for the Secret Service. Why? Because covert ops and also high charisma. She could be also a good foreign council, but with that war, I wouldn't like to lose the war statistics. So when you select leaders, it's also important to check the other stats. So if they are worth to sacrifice. In this case, I sacrifice intelligence because I will not use it in case of Secret Service Council, but those two I will use. I think war and charisma are very good for Secret Service, especially if we have covert ops and personal combat and sixth sense. It's also helping. So quite good candidate. And we can also check the stratagems. So this is the card that the Secret Service Council can play to increase the loyalty. This is to get money back from leaders. This is to increase the chance for covert operations by 40 points, and also all spy related cards. The brown card is everything what the Secret Service Council is doing. So go back to the decisions. Okay, so we have our leader here. Let's appoint. Please notice the suitability rating is 112. So this rating is good for now. She has very good covert ops skill, and it's the main skill used in this role. And also interpersonal rating. Appoint. So if we go to organizations, you can see all tasks which are using covert ops skill to generate spy card points, covert card points, and internal security card points, which are used to generate cards that I have shown you before. So now let's go back and check our list. So we have the Secret Service Council. Next one maybe could be Staff Council. Also war and charisma, but in this case high command is the main skill we would like to have, and sometimes intimidate can be used, but mainly if you are autocracy. And for expel population, operational command, but this is only for one card. But the war is most important to help with the tasks. So go back to the manage. We are sorting by war. Secret Service Council is already taken. Let's check the next one. In this case, we are looking for high command, but we can see that nobody has a great high command except this one. And also there is operational command here, and also charisma. That would be great candidate. But as you can see, he is already taken. He is director of Interior Council. So this is a problem I mentioned you at the beginning of this video. He has all stats very good, and he might fit many different roles. So he could be good staff council, interior council, or even operational commander. Also, when we check his card, he has very good military skills, so probably he would be a better commander than interior council, but only because of the high ambition, I would keep it as interior council. So we need to find a better candidate for the staff council. So usually when you are using this table, before the final decision, please check the leader card and ensure that there is no other possibilities for this job that are better. So let's come back and stay with this candidate. So Victor, let's check him. So we are targeting the war is good in his case. High command he can learn because capability is free and war is high. Let's keep him. Staff council. And finally we have Victor. Please notice that suitability rating for now, for the moment when I want to appoint him is 1, but we know that he will be a good staff council because of this high war score and capability. So don't trust this number too much. It's only indication how the candidate is good for today.
Aye, aye, sir.
So the next one will be our operational commander. The game suggests us Sonic because he has some military skills related to the war statistic, and also he has good war statistic. Capability level 2, but this is not a problem for military commanders in my opinion. Maybe this is good suggestion. Let's check our table. Commander should have high war score, and it would be good to have charisma and intelligence, not the lowest one. The most important skill is operational command and leadership if we are talking about charisma to increase the morale of our units. And the next three skills are more situational. You don't always have them. That's why the intelligence is optional here. So check our manage leaders screen. For simplicity, we can simply filter out everyone that already have a job and keep only reserve pool. So select none and keep reserve pool. That will be easier for us. And you can see that on the top is Sonic, so the person recommended by the game. But check other candidates also, because we never know. This guy, for example, will be more happy because ambition is lower and he has higher loyalty. So 56 and this guy 38. She will be more loyal commander, but 5 points less war. I think not worth it. So let's check capability 3. They have lower war score, but can learn fast. But this person is too intelligent for the military commander. So it looks like the first one would be the best because highest war and average charisma and intelligence. So we are not wasting those two statistics, but they will help us. They are not too low, not too high. And capability level 2, in case of military commanders, they earn a lot of experience if they are fighting, so they can progress even faster than capability 3 doing the bureaucratic work in some cases. So a point. So we have military commander and now switch to governor. Governor is also interesting role because governor is using many different skills. So we have here two candidates and she looks like the most suitable because of intelligence and skills. If we go to our table and find governor, you can see that intelligence is the most important and would be good to have charisma, but not mandatory, but mainly administration, prospecting, scavenging, investigation, interrogation, and oratory. Those are the skills that would be good to have. Also others, but I would say they can be more used than the others. So investigation, very good because she can increase security. Agriculture, so she can increase the food production, and high intelligence give us hope that she will master the skills, and capability 3 that she will do it fast. Also interrogation is good for governors because she can use it in some unrest events. So she is very good candidate for governor. Maybe the war is too high, but as I said, sometimes we need to sacrifice some good stats. Let's check only ambition. In case of governors, this is 105 minus 68, 37 job prestige satisfaction for her. Problematic, but let's hope that the faction will increase their happiness if we will care about the faction. Let's nominate her as a governor. And what we have left? Supreme Command Council. This role is very important when you start with only Supreme Command Council, but the more councils you have, the less important are the other tasks and skills for this job. And then at the end, the most important will be the administration, because administration for Supreme is to generate the political points, so our political power task. Rest depends on priority for general tasks. So if you reduce the priority to 1%, then can ignore the war and charisma, but early game it would be good to have candidate who has good all three stats, and late game only intelligence. So let's check what the game proposes. We are not in the descending order, so sometimes the better person can be here. Also, you can look here if there is anybody interesting. He has the highest suitability. Let's check why. Because of the administration, 33. Intelligence is not bad. So let's check, but this time sort by intelligence, and we are interested in administration, and we can ignore the other skills. So he is on the first place. He is the only person who has administration. So the game suggestion is quite good. Also, he is a faction leader. So the faction leader is also a factor that you can include during the nominations, because sometimes it's better to give a bit worse leader who is faction leader to a good position to make the faction happy if the faction cares about a job in a specific sector. So for example, the Steel Front, they really would like to have, this is the profile affinity, and they would like to really have somebody as military commander. And Popular School, they would like to have somebody in zone administration and in the government. So this is also an important factor when you select somebody. For example, she is a leader of a faction and she don't have a job. So she might be disappointed, and then the whole faction will be a bit disappointed. So we need to give her some job, even advisor, if we will not be able to find anything better for her. But let's nominate him.
Copy that.
So we have Supreme Commander. Let's check the Supreme Commander. He's generating the political points, but this task is to generate any other points if other councils are missing. So very important early game. But the more you decrease this percentage, the more important will be only administration. And now Foreign Affairs Council. This council has only one important statistic, which is charisma, and it should be the person with the highest charisma and very low intelligence and war score to not affect our other choices. So I would not select Foreign Council with high charisma, very high war, and high intelligence, because it would be better to use him for one of those positions. But if we have somebody with only with charisma as dominating statistic, then diplomacy, skill, and oratory are the most important ones. Those two will be used in most of the cases and maybe rarely intimidate. So let's check what the game proposes. Oh, you can see here this guy, quite good suitability. Let's check. He has oratory and he has some diplomacy, so 31 and 18. But the charisma is quite low and capability level 1, so crap. He cannot be our foreign council. Maybe a kind of a leader in a village on the edge of our empire. So let's go and now sort by charisma. And from interpersonal skills, we need diplomacy and oratory, and we can hide administration. So who is the first one? Team, 40 charisma. Rest are quite low, so we are not wasting them, but capability level 2. Do we have anyone with capability 3? 32 charisma. I wouldn't like have capability level 2 as a foreign council, because capability level 3 is receiving bonus plus 70% to the experience from the cards that we are playing, and capability level 2 only 30%, capability level 1 no bonus. So I have no other option than this guy, but this would be better from the stat perspective, but because of the low capability, the stats is less important in his case, so no other choice. Caleb.
Understood.
And now last two roles, applied science and air force research. So at the bottom of our table, they care only about intelligence, inventor and science, so typical scientists. So applied science, if you unlocked this tech tree or any other where you see icon representing applied science, then you can nominate somebody. And for applied science, we will choose someone with high intelligence, and the other stats should be very low. I would select maybe this person or even she. She is a faction leader, so she should be appreciated by this nomination because she will be part of our government. The director role is prestige one. This is my political nomination, Hanna.
Okie dokie.
And the last one, Air Force Research, similar situation. We don't have any faction leaders, so let's select this person, capability 3 and a high intelligence. Let's double check. Sometimes if you can see here the war stats, that person may be a better commander, but if the intelligence is the major stat, then no other option. We need to sacrifice the war stats and nominate her as a scientist. She can learn because capability free, and also the intelligence is affecting this percentage. So capability is affecting the amount of experience she earned, and the statistic is affecting also how easy it is to increase the level of skills by the spent experience. So if the intelligence would be 20, then the percentage skill will be much lower, and more often we could see a failed attempt to improve the statistic. If you are interested, you can watch my video about leaders. I explained the whole screen there, but she's fine. We have her here.
Yes, sir.
So the last one is advisor. With advisor is quite tricky. This is a person where there is no one ideal stats that you can sort by, but the most important are sixth sense and improvisation and any other skill that any other role demand. So depending to who you will attach the leader, he may help. So if I attach to the military commander, then some war scores will be needed. If I attach to the model design, then improvisation will be needed. And sixth sense is always needed. So let's try to filter our advisor. We'll be looking for sixth sense, improvisation, diplomacy, oratory, administration, and maybe technician. So now we can check. If you see any numbers in the middle of the table, so he is good in diplomacy, but here we can see improvisation, 16 improvisation. Let's sort by improvisation. This guy could help the Supreme Council to generate political power, but only level 1, so we can ignore. Somebody with sixth sense. This is interesting also. Administration, and he has also sixth sense and oratory. He would be good administrator because he has numbers in the most of the rows, but it's capability 1. So maybe the second, because the role is to help others with as many skills as possible, but it would be good if he can also learn. But they do not belong to any faction, so probably better would be to select this guy. So also the faction will be happy, and improvisation led him to improve any role, same as with sixth sense. Yeah, appoint him as advisor.
Yes, sir.
And regarding the secretary, in general, we don't care about any stats. Good to keep relation higher than 0, and profile alignment is most important. So this guy should here more or less have what we care in our empire. A secretary with very different profile alignment might be problematic and have strange decisions. So keep somebody who is loyal and likes you and have profile alignment. Can be capability 1. Sometimes secretary is doing the roles for cards where we don't have leaders, but there is negative modifier -25 to the roles, so usually it's not worth it. So we have our cabinet. They are quite good leaders, maybe not the best ones. Maybe you could choose something else, but in my opinion, is not bad. So I hope this video was helpful. Please watch other videos in our playlist and enjoy this great game. Thank you for watching.